Greetings and welcome to CAP 92B, Google Apps for Personal Productivity. My name is Curtis Pembroke and I'll be the instructor for the course. If you haven't done so already, please make sure that you download and print a copy of the syllabus so that you can review it along with me as you watch this video. As I said, my name is Curtis Pembroke and I teach in computer applications. I've been teaching at Mission College for the last 21 years, which means I'm getting close to expiration. I'll be retiring, I'd imagine, in the next 5 to 6 years. I've been teaching, I actually wrote this class and I've been teaching it for about the last 7 years. This class is entirely online, but you can reach me via Canvas or my district email at curtis.pembroke@wvm.edu. I have office hours scheduled Wednesday and Thursday, although since we've been in this COVID situation, what I've been doing is taking appointments for office hours because it just doesn't pay to sit and canvas and no one shows up in the times that I have scheduled. So I've gotten into a mode where if you need time with me, I'd rather schedule it on Wednesdays and Thursdays or the time that works for both of us. So if you want to meet, just send me a Canvas mail and let me know and we'll schedule a meeting. This is a short course, so we're going to run from the 16th through the end of the semester, and again, it's completely online. It's really important that you review the materials that are in this orientation folder by 325, and that's because we're online and I need to basically know that you've all accessed the materials so that I can report to the state of California that you have checked in and you're attending the class. It's really important. They look at that a lot now with the online courses. If for some reason you decide to drop or you become inactive in the class after the 25th, you're responsible for initiating the withdrawal or drop. Failure to withdraw could result in an F. If for some reason you disappear after the 25th, and when I say disappear, I mean like if I don't see you in Canvas for like a week or so, then I will contact you just to see how you're doing and if there's anything you need from me. As you look through the syllabus, these important dates you can read on your own. I definitely don't want to make this reading by Curtis, so I'm just going to highlight the important points here. This course introduces students to Google Drive and Google applications. Now, when I originally developed the course years ago, Google wasn't as ubiquitous as it is today. What I'm finding is students are coming from high school and industry, and they're using Google Docs. And in fact, it's probably about a 50-50 distribution between Google users and Microsoft Office users. If Google wanted to, I think that they could probably grab a majority of the office productivity market share from Microsoft, but that's not their primary business model. But what has changed is a lot of students come to the class having already used the tools, and that's very helpful because we can share tips and tricks with one another. When you complete this course, my goal is not so much that you know everything about all the applications. In fact, we're going to have kind of a speed date with all the tools, but that you walk away from the class and that you know how to use the tools to improve your personal and professional productivity and use them to solve a problem. It's one thing to go into Google Docs or Google Slides and just throw together a simple presentation. But particularly because of the collaboration features that are built into Google, it's another thing to be able to use the tool and the collaborative features to be productive in the workplace, or be productive when you're collaborating with other people, like if you're studying with your peers. There is no textbook required for the course. In terms of assignments, you have 7 hands-on exercises. So Each week we'll have that speed date with a Google app, and you have to make something and then send me the link, and I'll look at it and give you credit for the hands-on exercise. Because this is an online course, you will participate in discussions. Research shows us that if students are in discussions online, they tend to stay in the class. And then you have 7 collaborate activities, which again are built around discussions, etc., worth 140 points, and then the final exam. The final exam is not a comprehensive exam, it's basically project based, where you have to make something with a Google app. As far as grading, I'm not here to make or break your academic career. My philosophy is a little different about grading, but you come to my class and you already have an A. You just have to do the work and you'll maintain that A. And, everything is pretty straightforward. I'm I'm sort of like the Stanford University grader, where I think that it's important for you to focus more on learning the content than worrying about whether you get an A, because if you do the work, you'll get an A. Okay, the schedule is pretty straightforward. You can see by week what we're going to cover. We have spring break, so so this first week is what I usually actually call it the 0 week, and that is where we're really going to things will be a little laid back. You're going to look at the syllabus, you'll get into Canvas and get yourself situated, and then you need to set up yourself in Google Drive and get a Google account. And again, this is a Google Apps class, so you're going to need a Google account. Every semester I have students ask me if they can use Microsoft Office 365, and I tell them no, this is a Google class. Every semester students send me PowerPoint slides. When we get to the Google Slides, or was it what I call Google Presenter, because that's what it used to be called, and it's kind of a habit of mine. But no, I don't want PowerPoints. I want a link to a Google Slides presentation. And so it'll get busy after spring break. These first 2 weeks, we're going to take it slow for those that are beginners and don't know anything about Google. We're going to make sure that you know what Google Drive is, set up your Google account, and then we'll move into using Gmail and Chrome. Since Chrome is all the tools are called web apps, and that means they're not applications on your computer, your personal computer. They're in the cloud, right? And so you're going to need to use a browser, and in Google Chrome, almost all these applications were spec'd around Google Chrome, and so I would recommend that you use Google Chrome. And so we'll get yourself situated in the first 2 weeks. You're going to get spring break. Hopefully it'll warm up by then. It was pretty cold last night. And then we'll jump into a deep dive, not a deep dive, kind of that quick speed date on all these tools, from calendar all the way through Google Sites. Every semester, not every semester, but generally it's a stretch to get to the point where we can completely learn Google Sites, because they've changed it this semester, but it's pretty big, and so there's a possibility that we'll cover it, but I won't make you submit a hands-on exercise for that topic. I'll just have you look at it and talk about how you might use it. It just depends on the pace of the class. And so the schedule is subject to change just around here, depending on the timing. We will cover through Google Forms. And we'll even take a look at a few other tools. If we make up time, then we'll look at some of the newer tools. And Google has all kinds of apps that just pop up, and you don't hear about them unless it's through word of mouth. Okay, so the rest of the stuff that's in the syllabus you can read on your own. It's a lot of good information that the college makes us include in our syllabi. But again, if you have any questions, what I'd like you to do is post those questions to the questions forum in Canvas. So each week I have a questions forum where you can ask the instructor questions, or your peers. And so what we're trying to do with that questions forum is mimic what we do in the traditional classroom, where you raise your hand and you ask a question and the instructor answers it, and all of your classmates have the benefit of hearing your question. So if you have a question about something that's in Canvas in the reading, or my videos, or something about a question about the Google tools or whatever, then you're going to post that to the questions forum, right? Or if you have a question like, um, are you sure that, or if you have a question like that's related, say, to Google Sites, and we're getting in the schedule, and you're wondering, are we going to cover Google Sites? That might be a question that everyone has, so you post that to the questions forum. If you have a question of a personal nature, like you need an extension on an assignment, which, by the way, I didn't mention, I give I give you a 48-hour extension on all assignments. So when you look in Canvas and you see the due date, you automatically get 2 extra days extension, because I know things happen, especially with COVID. We're all in a different mode, and so um, I would like you to turn it in by the due date. But if you need 2 more days, then you're more than welcome to take it. You don't even have to tell me. But by the third day that you're late, I need to understand why. I don't take off points generally. I just want to know what's going on, because I want to make sure that you're okay in the class. So that was a long little explanation. If you have questions, post them to the questions forum. If it's a question of a personal nature, then send me an email. If you send me an email with a question about something we've covered in the online lecture, or discussions about a tool that we're covering at that time, then I will send an email back to you that basically says, you've reached an unlisted number. Please post this kind of question to the questions forum. Okay, welcome to CAP 92B. If you have any questions, you're going to post them in the questions forum. I'll see you online. Thanks.